Hi there, it's Tim, and this is beautiful Victoria on a beautiful summer's day with a beautiful Varla. This is the Eagle One Mark II. This is the Eagle One Mark II. So I don't know if you guys know this, but if you happen to have been a subscriber of mine for a long time, I have a very special space in my heart for Varla.
Warm feelings and a special place in my heart.
The reason why is they were the first company to ever send me one of these beautiful scooters. And for that, I'm so grateful. I mean, if you can imagine, once upon a time, I had no subscribers, and I started this little channel up, and people started watching the videos, and people like yourself started watching the videos and subscribing, and then Varla took I don't know what you call it, like what would you call it, Jamie? A
leap of faith.
A leap of faith. They took a leap of faith with big guy Tim here.
Sometimes what we do requires a leap of faith.
Long story short, this is the Varla Eagle One Mark II. I'm gonna go do a full review. Jamie and I are gonna ride around Victoria. We're gonna try it out. Up behind me, the Hill of Death. Twin 1,000 watt motors. Let's see if it can do it.
The Hill of Death.
Oh, it's actually accelerating up the hill. Made it up the Hill of Death, no problem. Twin 1,000 watts. Actually, it was actually accelerating all the way up. Beautiful. So as you just saw, crushing the Hill of Death, no problems whatsoever. And that's because it's got those twin 1,000 watt motors. It's got actually a 20.8 amp hour, 52 volt system. So it's a little bit bigger than the first Varla Eagle One. And that's, so you're gonna get maybe just a little touch more range. Top speed looks like about 40 miles an hour, which is what, about 64 kilometers an hour. And the same in range, about 40-mile range, but maybe just a little smidge more now because of that extra little bit of battery. One more thing I want to mention, I'm loving the suspension. Dual suspension, and on this windy day, sometimes you're looking around, it's really busy traffic in Victoria today, and I'm able to just keep, looking around, making sure I'm not getting run by a car, and if I hit a pothole or anything like that, this suspension is just eating it up. And that's something else, I'm a bigger guy. 330 pounds weight limit on this, which is way more than I actually weigh, which is good. I'm about 265. This is absolutely delightful for riding around. Anyway, it's extremely blustery. We're in front of the fire station now. I think what we're gonna do is head over to the ocean, just do a little bit more riding, and then we'll find a spot in the park and talk a little bit more about the Varla Eagle One Mark II. Let's try some off-roading. It's quite capable so far on the roads, but I think with these tires, it's gonna be pretty awesome on the trails too. So let's check it up in the park here. I'll turn left here.
Easy?
That was really easy, yeah. It doesn't have oodles of power, but pretty decent. 10-inch tires, they're 3 inches wide. With the suspension, it's actually totally fine. So if you've got some trail rides you're doing, whether you've got the occasional steep moment, no problem with this. And just having dual motors, I mean, this thing just tears up the trails that way too. So yeah, thumbs up big time. Let me share a couple of things I absolutely love with this. Number one, the height. I measured it, 43 inches from the base all the way up to the top of the handlebars, which means if you're a taller rider, this is so comfortable. In fact, I think it's one of the tallest ever that I've actually ridden. Music in the park, it's a little bit crazy around here right now, but it's a little quieter down here by the houseboats. I also wanted to share with you the width of the actual handlebars. Look how wide these are. I'm gonna put the exact measurement because I didn't actually measure them, but it's really quite nice. And the other thing is, it's quite a stiff steering. Now, do I love that? Don't I like it? I find it a little bit hard to just maneuver around in small spaces like I am right now, but when I'm riding, it makes it really quite smooth. because you kind of have a tendency to lean more rather than turn the wheel more, if that makes any sense to you as a rider. And then one more quirky thing, which is actually a lot like the Varla Eagle 1 Pro, and that's the faucet for locking and unlocking the stem. So if I unlock it like that, now I can pull a pin and I can fold it down and put the pin back in, and that's how it's locked for folding. If you have to stick it in the back of a car or something like that, that's kind of handy. But because the handlebars don't actually fold, it's going to be kind of unwieldy for storing in the back of a car. But anywho, let's go past the 1970s music here and find ourselves a quieter spot where I'm going to talk to you and show you about the weights, what it's like to fold it up, and what it's like to carry it around. Coming up next. One of the things that I absolutely love with the Varla Eagle 1, and that is the display. It's got a 3.5-inch display, and when you're scrolling through, you can actually see that it's got 5 different levels, and you can switch it from dual motor to single motor up here. Gives you the percentage, and also if I scroll through on the power, it's going to give me what my voltage is at, how far I've gone. I've gone 5 miles on this trip so far. Super simple to work. Love it. While I'm here as well, let me just quickly show you how the folding works on this. So as I said earlier, I'm going to loosen the faucet, pull the pin on the side, and it folds down. I'm just going to turn the power off. It has something I've never seen before. It has like a hook with a little spring attachment on it, and it goes into the back of the actual scooter, and then you can pick it up with one hand, I suppose. It's 88 pounds. Thank you. It is awesome, isn't it? That is. Yeah, it's kind of cool. How much? I think they're about 1,800 US. Oh, that's sick. Yeah. Thank you. 82 pounds. So you can stick it in the trunk of the car, put it in the back of an SUV or something like that. But you're not going to be running up and down the stairs with it. Anywho, putting it back together, pretty straightforward. Unhook it. Lift it up, screw in the faucet, which, you know what, at first I thought that was kind of odd the first time I saw that on a scooter, but I'm actually kind of liking it. And then you stick the pin in. Is there anything I don't like about this scooter? And honestly, no. I mean, it's quite a powerful scooter. It's not going to rip your hands off. One of the things I've noticed with this is it's really smooth on the acceleration. The thumb throttle makes it just so lovely. The brakes are fantastic. Thanks to the ferries that goes past here. The brakes are Zoom hydraulic brakes, and they're super smooth. I absolutely love hydraulic brakes, especially if you get in any kind of a pinch situation where you absolutely have to stop really fast. Hydraulic brakes are the way to go. I'm just really liking this. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to wrap it up in a moment here, but before I do, I'm just gonna invite Jamie here, my cameraman, just to take it up and down and come back and share what his quick thoughts are.
With this little clip, it kind of doubles as a bag clip. You could have it on there. You could strap your little straps around, and it just kind of saves your back from some extra weight. It's a nice little feature. All right, we're in gear 5. Just do a little takeoff here. Oh, we're in single motor. Let me turn that out. Okay, dual motor, here we are. Okay. Brakes are strong. Let's do a little takeoff. Oh, wow.
So it's not really fair for me to invite Jamie here to talk too much about it because he hasn't had a chance to ride around a lot, but he is going to take it home with him. He's going to try it out and do some DoorDash with it for the next week or so. But just right off the top, just quick first thoughts. What are you thinking? All
right, so I really like the extended long handlebars. If I was comparing it to the Pro, one gripe I had about it was just they were a little bit too short, so I like how they're extended, and same with the actual height of it. This is, I mean, I've ridden it like 200 meters, but I already can tell the difference of how high these are. I mean, the suspension, if you can see, it's very springy, double coil springs, and then you can just adjust it with a wrench there, big springs, that's good. Zoom brakes, stop perfect, I love zoom brakes. The acceleration, the thing I really liked is it's very gradual when you're just taking off. So if you want some like crazy power, that's not going to give you it. But the thing I like about it is once it starts to pick up, it really kind of multiplies as you get to higher speeds, and it accelerates the acceleration already like that. So I like that. Headlight is at a better spot than, for example, the Pro, which is down there. It's nice high mounted. Deck space is good. This welded back plate, this is probably the strongest foot plate I've seen. We have some really good welds here around the grip tape. And I mean, just like not with the Pro, you can actually lift from the back and get a good grip if you need to lift in a car or anything like that. Super strong plate to put your foot on. Deck space is good. I like how the charge ports are up top, so if water's splashing, they're not on the side or the bottom or anything. The stiff steering, also kind of like the Pro. I actually quite like it when you're at higher speeds. It just gives you a level of stability. And I mean, once you ride a couple 100 kilometers, you get used to things like that. Overall, my first impressions are, it looks good. I really like it.
So the special part is I'm going to invite Jamie to do some DoorDash, as I mentioned earlier, but I'm also going to invite him to do maybe a range test as well. Find out how far can it actually go. 20.8 amp hours, that's a big battery. One last little thing, and I absolutely love this about the Varla, is the fact that the deck tape, they actually have 3 other ones as well. One of them's an eagle, there's a couple of other ones. I just think that's kind of fun, right? So 2 big thumbs up from this big guy.
Big guy approved.